Today's question is, are there experts who can evaluate parental alienation for a child custody case? Great question, and I love answering this question. There are so-called expert witnesses for virtually any and every issue in legal actions. Can judges be bamboozled by pseudoscientific expert witnesses? Without question they can. Do some judges who know that the so-called expert witness's testimony is in fact pseudoscientific bunk, or at least know that the opinion has dubious scientific grounding, and yet justify their rulings that the judge wants to make by citing to those pseudoscientific opinions? Again, without question. So your question really should be, are there competent expert witnesses who can objectively prove that my spouse or the other parent is alienating our child or children from me? The answer to that question is, in my opinion, no. Other questions you should ask, and their answers, in my opinion, are as follows. Are there competent expert witnesses who can make a persuasive case for the argument that my spouse or the other parent is alienating our children from me? The answer to that question is yes. Are there incompetent expert witnesses who can make a persuasive case for the argument that my spouse or the other parent is alienating our children from me? The answer to that question is also yes. Are judges generally receptive to the concept, much less the actual occurrence, of parental alienation, and are they generally willing to hold a parental alienator accountable? The answer to that question is some judges will acknowledge that parental alienation exists, but even then, the amount and quality of evidence needed to persuade a judge that parental alienation occurred or is occurring is very high, in many cases unobtainably ludicrously high. Another question. Will proving the occurrence of parental alienation help me obtain court orders to protect my children from further alienation and psychological and emotional abuse caused by the alienation? The answer to that question is maybe. Some judges take a bizarre approach to proof of parental alienation, i.e., it is clear that the parent has alienated the children from the other parent, but if I were to take the children away from the alienator or impose sanctions or restrictions, monitoring or supervision, or all of those things, on the alienator, then the alienated kids, who side with the alienator only because they have been exploited and manipulated and abused by the alienating parent, would suffer, meaning they would suffer in the process of treating and reversing the alienation brainwashing and being restored to reality and regular mental health. So I am going to leave things be for the sake of the children.